great to be a beautiful Tuesday morning. Welcome to this bright new day. And as always, we welcome you to another, 2 hours, 45 minutes on Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Now, grab that cup of coffee, juice, tea, whatever you want to do. Let's get started on this roller coaster ride. I am Mike Messikeno. It's great to have you on the show. We're streaming live at tvcentertainment.tv and also on Facebook at TVC Connect. If you want to interact with us, send in your comments, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, on Facebook, Instagram, and also on Twitter. Another way you can also connect with us is via our app. It's available on iOS and Android. Just download the app and then you can watch us anywhere in the world once you have internet connection. So, how was Monday for you? Just let me know on social media. Like I said, with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, Twitter at TVC Connect, also on Instagram. How was Monday for you? I mean, we're getting to the end of October, and yeah, the 22nd, I must say, and well, I'm quite excited. How has 2018 as a year been for you? I hope you've enjoyed the year so far. Well, on the show today, there's so much. It's Tuesday. I know a number of people watch out for Tuesdays and Thursdays, our birthday shout-outs. I will make sure that we don't miss yours. And then, of course, we will bring you P-Centric for a musical performance. He's a fast-rising gospel singer, songwriter, and a performer. He'll be here to perform for us this morning. Now, Dr. Isima Shobande is an aesthetic physician and an expert with skin care. She will join us to talk about something that most women can connect with, which is how to remove unwanted hair. And then, for a DIY, it's been a while we did a DIY on how to make a simple choker. You want to look like Kim Kardashian there with denim? We'll be joined by the creative director of Fahida Ola Jewelry, Fahida Ola herself. And on parenting, the founder of Lagos Dad will be here to talk about how to communicate with your children effectively. And then there is still more music, this time from minister and gospel singer Simon Rich. Nollywood actress will grace our screens this morning, Patience Emmanuel. She'll be with us, so we'll have a chat with her.
You be telling me you love me. You love your wife.
No, forget my wife. My wife who needs 2 more. How can somebody use 2 hands to hold one?
Nice.
Yeah.
I like her real.
Welcome to Tuesday.
What's with the cowboy thing?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, take my horse to the Old Town Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ride through you can no more.
I like the video. Did you watch the video? The official video.
Sure. Right till I can go on. Gotta take my horse. So, well, I was talking about earlier, October is like, it's over. It's the 10th month of the year.
October went by very fast.
Like, it went fast, man.
I think that's the fastest I've seen. Yeah, but yeah.
You had a lot of money in your pocket.
What does that mean?
That's the only way a month can roll by.
So most of the time when you're busy, when you're very busy, at times time runs fast. But then when you go down the scale when it comes to basically busy idle, the lower down the scale, the more time stretches. That's normally what happens. But of course, time is constant. So it's constant, but we know that we still have 2 more months. I think that there's a lot you can do in 2 more months. I know over the past month on motivation, we'll be talking about the rest of the year, planning for 2020. But I think that while you start, visioning or putting together 2020, there's still 2 more months plus.
Exactly.
There's so much you can still do in the 2019.
You can still put that $100 million in your account. Balance.
You start to plan for that one ahead. You don't know, not your head, like that. You have to plan. Yesterday, something came into my mind. I said, look, man, fear is a very strong motivation.
Yes.
Maybe the strongest.
Yes. The fear of poverty, the fear
I'm telling you,
of
some people
failure.
will come out. I know times when I've been somewhere, I remember this competition I was in, and after the first round or so, they asked me, well, what are you most afraid of? And I had this bravado, this facade. I was like, I'm not afraid of anything. And I was like, I felt cool, like, okay, let me put that confidence. I'm not afraid. I'll take anything down. So the guys that finally won, after the first round, we beat them in the first round, but the guys that finally won, they're like, man, that they're afraid of the competition. They're afraid of us. They're afraid of not winning. Wow. So do you know what that did? It made them go back. Yeah. They studied us. They knew how to beat us, and they beat us silly. While we had that, while we had that bravado and all of that. So for me, fear. So that's what my message today. That's what was playing in my head this morning. Fear is about the strongest motivation.
Because it just drives you to, to go the extra mile.
To go the extra mile.
Not do.
There's a question many people ask. What's the difference between fear and phobia? People don't realize that there's actually a difference.
There is.
They look at
you.
So typically you can channel fear into anything.
Yeah.
So it's like converting kinetic energy into electric energy.
Yeah.
But phobia is something that is a bit more. It can paralyze you. Yeah. Because
it's a bit more compact.
Exactly.
Like
so,
you can be afraid of dogs.
Okay.
You understand? But of course, it's something you can conquer with time. Maybe even love dogs.
With dogs, it's phobia.
Yeah. Well, not all the time, though. It could be something that led to it or some kind of environmental issue. Like claustrophobia, for example. You're afraid of
tight spaces.
Tight spaces. And it could be due to maybe being left alone for long periods as a child.
Very true. But you see that fear of dog. That fear and your phobia. Depending on the dog. Your fear and phobia will join together and they will form fear phobia. When you see better pit bull, fear and phobia will combine.
All right, we have to take the news now. And in 2017, news of several Nigerians stuck in Libyan slave markets broke. And since then, about 15,000 Nigerians have returned back from the North African country with the help of the United Nations and the Nigerian government. Many more Nigerians are stuck abroad, working as sex slaves, domestic servants, and living in the worst conditions. In spite of these dangers and more experienced by migrants, some are still bent on traveling at the first opportunity. Two British nationals identified as James Richard Nolan and Adam Quinn will have to be remanded in prison in connection with money laundering charges. These charges were brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and are related to the $9.6 billion arbitral award to P&ID Limited by a UK court. The two were docked on a 16-count charge to which they pleaded not guilty. Justice Okon Aban of the Federal High Court in Abuja struck out 9 of the charges on grounds that a court of law has no jurisdiction to entertain a charge against a non-registered person. Trial will start on November 20th. Now, the Kogi state government has a new deputy governor. Less than 3 weeks to the governorship election. Edward Onoja, a former chief of staff to Governor Yahaya Bello, was sworn in to replace Simon Achuba. Mr. Achuba was impeached some days ago, but says the process was illegal. He says he's still the deputy governor. The federal government has been asked to close Nigeria's borders against foreign herdsmen. The Benue State Governor, Samuel Ortom, made this call after visiting a farmer who was recently attacked on her farm by herdsmen. Mayowa Okunato reports.
Suspected herdsmen launched an attack on Bogio village in Guma local government area of Benue State, cutting off a woman's hand on her farm. Grace Zeku was alone on her farm when she was attacked by hoodlums. We paid a visit to her at the Federal Medical Center in Makurdi, where she is receiving treatment.
On this fateful day, I went to the farm. While farming, I heard a strange voice. I started seeking where the noise was coming from. When I was hit on head with a cutlass, while struggling from my life with them, they chopped off my left hand before I escaped.
The Benue State Governor, Samuel Ortom, accompanied by his wife, and some government officials also visited Grace at the hospital. After consoling her, he assured her that the culprits would be brought to justice. Governor Tom is in support of the ranching system, but urges the federal government to look into tightening borders to avoid terrorists coming into the country as herders.
We must enforce the law on ranching. And the only way we can separate the good ones from the bad ones is when we have stock of all herdsmen in Benue State. And I want to advise the federal government to close border on also herdsmen who are foreigners.
He says security would be beefed up in the areas where the attack took place. Bogio village is a border community between Benue State and Nasarawa State. Mayowa Okwato, TVC News, Makodi.
Now over to international business. The pound has slipped against the dollar as currency markets react to members of parliament's approval or support to delay the approval of the Brexit deal. The pound's reaction stopped falling to 0.6% against the dollar to $1.29 and down 0.4% against the euro. Investors are anxious about the currency market. Currency analysts expect a strong movement in the pound when the Brexit deal is voted on in Parliament. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. We'll take a breather and return with sports news with Mike Mexicano.
Okay, so you...
So let's start with this day, with the headline, "In brazen assault on the Constitution, Kogi swears in new deputy governor." And there's a quote there, section 188, subsection 8, where the panel reports to the House of Assembly that the allegation has not been proven. No further proceedings shall be taken in respect of the matter. And then there's a story there regarding that. And despite border closure, smuggling booms at Nigeria-Niger border. Customs arrest 50 suspects, seize 14 trucks, and accuse residents of border towns of complicity. And bank CEOs disclaim MTN over USSD transaction charges. "We don't need permission to impose service charge," says the telecoms company. And EFCC arraigns 2 British nationals over PNID $9.6 billion fraud. And finally, we've got a photo story here with the national leader of the All Progressives Congress and some other leading elites there at the Afe Babalola University in Ado-Ekiti yesterday. And that's what we have on the cover of this day.
All right, the Daily Sun newspaper is what I have here. And it says, Saraki to forfeit property to federal government. Court gives EFCC nod to seize ex-Senate President Ikoyi houses. Commission misled court, claims Saraki. Up here, we see anxiety in Ondo over Akeredolu's health. He is hale and hearty. I'm sure that's coming from government sources. Down here, Nigeria fighting global terrorism, coming from a minister who insists Boko Haram has been defeated. PNID, court remands 2 British nationals in custody. Federal government procures 20 new rail coaches. They're expected to arrive in 6 weeks. Exciting, that one. Secure Anchorage Area, SAA, statement of fact. This has to do with a particular article that might interest certain sectors in Lagos, especially when we talk about the water access. All right, so these and more stories you find in the Daily Sun newspaper today.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Vanguard. Killings, banditry, farmers, herders clashes. The governor of Benue State there saying, shut borders against alien herdsmen. And Ohaneze, Afenifere, ACF, CAN, PDP, MBF, PANDEF, others in support. Arrest criminals posing as herdsmen, northern leaders urge security agencies. And some other stories here are not just sworn in as Kogi deputy governor. And rail transport, 20 new coaches arriving in 6 weeks. And finally, $9.6 billion PNID scam. Judge remands Britain in prison. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
And I believe that's about all for the newspaper headlines this hour.
Yeah,
we'll
be
definitely
back.
Have more for you on the other side of the hour. We need to take this break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned at this time for the Lagos traffic update on Wake Up Nigeria. And today we'll start from the Ilepo axis. Before that, though, let's remember that with the rains pouring heavily across the country, it's imperative to look for the best options to get to your destination safe and sound. And of course, as usual, we have you covered regarding that, as we intend to help you as much as we can. You can also help by tweeting and sending messages via our social media platforms using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And now let's take a look at that axis, as I mentioned, coming from Ilepo this morning all the way to Mushin bus stop will take you just about an hour if you've set out already, that is, because of course, you know, the roads are unpredictable. In the next 5 minutes, it could be a completely different story. Coming out from Ilepo, you'd experience light traffic from the bus stop, but it's only for a short while, just about 3 minutes, after which it eases off. It's a freeway, and then you'd experience pockets of traffic even at Pleasure bus stop. There's a bit of traffic there, but it's very light, but it's not so bad. In fact, it will take you just about plus or minus 8 minutes to get to Yanopaja from Ilepo this morning. However, as you are approaching Yanopaja, just before you get to the Jafojo streets, that's where the gridlock begins, and the bumper to fender traffic continues all the way through Yanopaja. Yes, all the way through the bridge. You pass the bridge a bit before the traffic eases off, and then it's just light traffic, but only for about 3 minutes, after which is free-flowing traffic. And that free-flowing traffic takes you all the way through Iyano, all the way through Dokwemu. Believe it or not, right now, Dokwemu is good to go, like really good to go. And it just makes you feel so good, just going on and on and on until you get to the corner filling station. That's where the traffic starts. And in fact, the gridlock literally slams you in the face. There is no warning, no light traffic to ease into it. No way. It's just instant gridlock. And that bumper to fender traffic continues for a while until you're past the cement axis, when the traffic becomes light. But the light traffic is only for a short while, because almost immediately the bumper to fender traffic starts again. Getting to Mangoro axis, especially, when you get to that Onilekere police station area, the traffic becomes really light. It eases off. It's a freeway. But as soon as you pass that axis, when you pass the Dejo Aikulola Street, the traffic starts again. It's light traffic, but that light traffic is only for a short while because when you are approaching the Christ Embassy on the expressway, that's where the gridlock starts, and that gridlock will take you for a very long while. In fact, it will take you through Mangoro access, after which it becomes lighter. But that light traffic is very deceptive because there's a bit of traffic that comes up and then it's free-flowing again. So it's just pockets of traffic here and there until you get to Ile-Ezik. Ile-Ezik is where the traffic gridlock really does start. And it's all the way through Ikeja, along all the way through National, just before you get on the bridge. For those going towards airports, that's where the traffic lightens up. And the light traffic continues all the way through under Ikeja, on the bridge, after which is free-flowing. And that free-flowing traffic continues all the way till, yeah, I see light traffic here. Yeah, just, okay, it's not so bad. It's just light traffic after Shogunle. But just as soon as you get to the arena, the traffic starts again. It's light traffic and then bumper to fender traffic through Oshodi. But don't you worry, as soon as you're past Oshodi, the roads are good to go and you'll be at Mushin in no time. So as I said earlier, if you're just setting out right now, prepare to spend just about an hour to get to Mushin from Ile-Epo. So it really isn't so bad this morning. I'm sure you do just fine. Now let's take a look at another axis, talking about the Obalende axis, all the way from Oronshoki, heading towards Obalende this morning. Will take you an hour, 10 minutes. Yeah, so conservatively, an hour, 10 minutes should get you there, which is not so bad in comparison to yesterday when it would have taken you about an hour, 30 minutes. So, hey, the traffic isn't so bad this morning. So setting out from Oronshoki, there's a gridlock there. I'm not quite sure what's the cause of it. So if you're around that axis, perhaps you might want to share with us using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. However, as soon as you pass that gridlock, you experience traffic, just pockets of light traffic, until you get on the 3rd Mainland Bridge. Now, the 3rd Mainland Bridge is mostly free. Just pockets of light traffic here and there. The Akoka axis of the bridge. The Makoko axis. Yes, the Makoko axis as well. It's not so bad, really. In fact, passing through Unilag area is free-flowing. But when you get to the Iwaya axis, okay, there's a new update. When you get to the Iwaya axis, light traffic begins, and then it's instant bumper to fender. As I speak now, the Makoko axis of the bridge is blocked now. Yeah, so prepare your mind for that. In fact, connecting from Yaba to the 3rd Mainland Bridge, there is traffic there. The gridlock is massive, and it takes you all the way till you get to Obalende. So that's why you're going to spend an hour, 10 minutes this morning getting there. Now, we're going to take a look at the Maryland axis. For those who choose to pass the Maryland axis to the CMS garage, so you know whether you'd save time by passing there or you'd rather just go through the 3rd Mainland Bridge. As it is, you will not only save time, according to the maps, you will save plenty of time because, believe it or not, Maryland bus stop to CMS garage, unlike yesterday's 15 minutes to an hour, will take you just about 45 minutes. Isn't that fantastic? So setting out from Maryland is actually free-flowing traffic all through Anthony bus stop. Of course, when you get under the bridge at Anthony, there's light traffic, but as soon as you pass that, it's mostly free-flowing traffic. Just a bit of gridlock here and there, especially when you're approaching the island. But besides that, you're totally good to go. 45 minutes from Maryland, and you're at CMS Garage. Fantastic stuff, I must say. All right, so that's about it this morning on the traffic updates. Remember, as I always say, have consideration for all the road users. Be patient and be at alert at all times. I'll be joining the guys in the kitchen. What's up, guys?
Traffic controller Toba.
In fact.
When she handle traffic here for you.
You feel safe.
You just enter the road. Say, maybe handle traffic today. Let me just enter the road, not see the output. All right, yeah.
That was nice. That was nice.
Okay. So, but let's hope. I don't know if you've noticed any work on, you know, the state of emergency the governor declared on the roads. I don't know if you've noticed any new construction. Okay, yes, I have. Ojota.
Yeah,
you know
that
that place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, construction work.
Yes,
Okay.
you know. So I was thinking, you know, some few had been going on, but I know that something new has started happening since the governor declared that state of emergency.
Yeah, even this morning, along the Akeredolu way towards Osborne, I saw some
work
trucks. They've already started getting some work done because the rains really messed up the road along Akeredolu. It was really messed up a while back, and I think also they're going to be doing some work along at Ahmadu Bello as well in Victoria Island. So that's for the island guys. But Ojota was a really bad spot.
Yeah, but it's getting better. I know that. Yeah. Okay, so Mary, you wanted to mention something?
Don't talk about us now, please.
No, I'm not talking about us now. I'm not talking about us now. Someday we'll get one very nice sports show where we'll be tackling each other. Both
of you.
I love maybe we'll definitely be against sometime and all of that. You know, but we'll definitely look. So
see, don't worry. I know we didn't do well, so let's just move on. I've accepted.
Yeah. So you mentioned yesterday that you wanted to talk about something.
Oh yes.
So yesterday, I mean, it trended the whole day. Combined.
The trend started on Sunday evening.
So combined husband and wife. It was over 100.
Said combined husband and wife.
Yeah, it was over 120,000 mentions on social media yesterday. It meant that people felt really, really strongly about Gloria Osei and I think Muyiwa Folorunsho, who's her husband. But I mean, I'm going to be talking in general about business. Okay. Right? You guys can talk about what's maybe somebody should just update us.
Update us on
what happened.
No, I don't have any. You know, I do have an update generally. But the thing is that let's see. You see, people talk about. A number of people have come to say, okay, they are human. It's business. They make mistakes. Don't drag people.
Yeah.
I found out something. You see, until something happens to you personally, you never know how it hurts. You understand? So it's easy to be on the side and say, okay. So I mean, still some groups which they have a reason for. They say, okay, don't drag people anyhow. Whenever people, you notice that every day they're looking for someone to drag. Yeah. So whenever something happens or someone fails, everybody swoops down. Yeah. I remember listening to a wise man saying something somewhere. He said, when people fall, don't laugh, learn. Yeah. And that is very valid. But in a case whereby you see some people, they are personally involved, and a lot of people are airing out some deep-seated grievances, which this is healing for them, and their points are also valid.
I mean, there were a number of people who spoke out for the first time because of what happened, and some were saying, "Oh, I was sacked in 2018, I was, let go in 2016, and different things like that." I started several companies.
There was a young man who left his town, paid 500,000 naira for rent in Lagos, and it just came one day after putting in so much.
Now, remember, all these things are claims.
Yeah, of course.
So we don't know whether he actually paid 500,000.
Okay, yeah, true.
Rent in Lagos.
Yeah.
I even thought it was.
You know that even me, I follow video of that. So they say when you kill a lizard when nobody's watching, you say you kill a boa.
Exactly.
So it happens. Even me, it happens to everybody. So
exactly.
Someone was not there. You paid 1K.
So coming from the business angle, one of the challenges that people face is when you start a business, because Nigerians are very religious, we expect that things will grow fast and do great. So you might find success in a small area. Maybe it's just you and, so me and Mary now, we have a business and things are running very nicely. And then we feel, okay, so let's hire a third person. So we hire Mike, and then we hire somebody else, and then the operations begin to expand. Yeah. But with growth, there are also problems. Teething problems in your business that will then make you you can then get a bit tense. Maybe you took out a loan, for instance, or you bought a new generator. So things like that bring a lot of pressure on the business and on you, like your personal finances. Yeah. Sometimes as a business person, you're dipping into your own personal money to pay salaries. True. So you then feel a lot of pressure, which the staff don't understand. So you come to work on a Monday morning and you're just angry at it. You're looking for who to sack, essentially, because there's pressure, you haven't paid your rent. So you come to work and you're fired. That's the next thing you say to them. So that person doesn't know where you're coming from. So that happens a lot. But a lot of Nigerian businesses face this because they expand too fast. So they're thinking about, oh, let's get in all that money and all of that. So when that happens, the entrepreneur is under too much pressure, and then the worst part of his character comes out. That's usually what happens.
For the benefit of those who don't know the story, I don't want to, you've already mentioned him, so I will not mention any other name. However, this is the summary of it so we can be realistic about it. First, they had a business. It was flourishing. Then they decided to do 5 other businesses.
Or 10.
Or 10 even. Now, you set up 10 businesses. You ask people to invest. They put in their money. Now, they put in their money. The first set of people who invested, you use the money for something else. And then when they started like, aren't we going to be paid for what you promised? Yeah. You now decided to create a second set of people for the same business. Now took the money from those people to pay. What has it become? It has become a Ponzi scheme.
No, it's confirmed, yes, that's true. They ran a Ponzi scheme.
Yes, that's more or less what it meant.
Which one? With
the pork business.
The pork, yes. It was Ponzi. That is verified, and we're sure of that.
And then apart from that, the other one, you remember when I mentioned weeks back about a particular land company that was in trouble with GT Bank owing money they borrowed. I am suspected because remember then they said there was an agreement that you don't bring it up, but the coincidence is too much because according to that story, then that company was owing. Was with people's properties, and then a certain body, nobody knew what body. Yeah. Obviously, this government body, we finally found out, the government took back its land and reallocated it. So what we got then was somebody took the land back and gave it out to fresh people.
Reallocation from the government, I think it's definitely that was the case.
It's too much of a coincidence because we don't know of any other land company having that issue now.
So you can imagine if you're
so GTB is already in trouble, trying to get their money back from the land. Obviously,
it's crazy. I mean, so you can imagine if you're the owner of that business.
As if that is not bad enough. You now employ young people, exploit them, frustrate them, make them depressed because see.
Maybe this is personal.
It is.
Employ, exploit, depress.
And then, we need to also talk about the situation in Nigeria. We know of a certain set of people that they are foreigners, yes, but they use our people a lot. Yeah. And now we are also doing it.
Like it's his story. You see, so normally gospel music is something that there's always this clash with finances. Gospel music, finances and all that. Where do we draw the line? How do I do gospel music? How do I make money? Should I go into it full time? But this guy was very eclectic, nice mix. A gospel artist who is actually a banker. Yeah. P-Centric is in the house. He's a fast-rising gospel artist who recently came out with the song My Anchor, a song that is dedicated to the assurance of unrivaled trust in God. He's also a banker. How do you get to balance it, being a banker and also being a gospel artist?
You know, I always get this question every time. And one thing I always say is, when the heart is willing, it will find 1,000 ways.
Wow. See, like I believe that so strongly. When there's a will, there definitely is a way.
Definitely.
Wonderful. So gospel for you is about the passion. Music for you is about the passion. It's not something that no matter what you do, you're not going to leave it for anything. Something that you'd always do.
Definitely, always.
All right, so let's talk about your songs. I know it's gospel, but what is that thing what is the main inspiration behind your personal experiences and all of that? What is the main inspiration?
When I wrote My Anchor, it came from a place where I was done trusting people. I was done trusting my ability. I was done trusting my potentials, I just said, God, I can't do this on my own anymore. I need you on this journey. So it came from a personal experience because I was on a project where I thought I could do this on my own, and it didn't turn out that way.
So when you involve God, how did it turn out?
You see, He is more than faithful to always finish what He starts. And I've come to realize that He would always come through for you, even when you least expect it.
Wow. I like that. Okay, so My Anchor, that's the song you're performing, right?
Yeah.
I love the cap. So take it away, P-Centric.
And I know Jesus, only you I depend on. If you be my zenith, only you are the bank on.
Hello again. Your favorite breakfast show, the #1 in Nigeria, is still on. And of course, we're going to be here till about 8:45 this morning. 1 hour has gone by already, so fast.
That's right. And we hope you caught something from that last hour. But there's still more to come. My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We are streaming live. That's an option for you every single day. Yeah. And that's at tvcentertainment.tv. And we're also streaming on Facebook, believe it or not, at TVC Connect.
And if you want to drop a comment on too, then go to our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages at TVC Connect, as Yomi said, using the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
We also have an app for you that's available for download both on the Android and the iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yes, we have that breakfast show with actual breakfast. And yes, because of that, we have a chef in the
he's
kitchen.
going to be making his debut on the show today. And you know how new chefs are. You know, they're very generous, just want to give out everything. So that's going to be happening on the show. And I'm going to be in the kitchen.
Yes, Yomi is going to be in the kitchen with Chef Aliu. Yeah. Hi, Chef Aliu.
Yeah,
hey,
how you doing?
There you go. I like that presidential wave. You know, when you're coming out of the plane and everybody is just, you know, give them that, a little bit of that. Anyway, so let's go straight to what we've got left for you on the show today. Dr. Isima Shobande. Now, this is an aesthetic physician and an expert with skincare. She's going to be talking to us about removing unwanted hair. And then we have a DIY coming up. We haven't had that in a while. Yeah. And Fahida Ola on how to make a simple choker from denim. And once you say choker, I just have this feeling.
Actually, no, choking, right? And joining us for parenting to discuss communicating with today's child is the founder of Lagos Dads, Jesutola Ajao.
Then we've got a second musical performance for you on the show today, and this one is from gospel singer Simeon Rich.
And lastly, we will be joined by Nollywood actress Patience Emmanuel. So you love your wife? And you be banging me and you be telling me you love me. You love your wife.
You forget my wife.
Anyway, so do we have any world days happening?
Yes, there are. I'm going to tell you what they are. But before that, still on what we were discussing earlier, I know we just had to cut it off.
No, you know you ended on EEG. That your note was strong note now. Exploiting.
No, now, because exploitation is already... I remember MM mentioned, I know she's not here now. We miss you, MM. She mentioned the fact that the thing is ridiculous now. It is ridiculous. Anyway, today is Caps Lock Day.
Okay.
So don't you find it annoying when people send you messages with caps lock?
Okay. So you people, I feel that these days when you read the days, you're telling who are the people that giving these days? I just stand up and just say today is something. Just stand up. What are they?
But I think it's also nice if you can name a day after yourself. Just say, you know what?
It's not a big deal.
Today is my day.
Okay, now wait for this one. Today is Smart is Cool Day.
Smart is cool.
Smart is cool.
Smart is always good. Yeah.
Okay, so I like this next one. It's Nut Day. Yeah, so it's good to eat plenty of nuts. As in Nut Day, cashew nuts,
the kind of nut.
peanuts.
Cashew nuts, peanuts.
Yeah,
depends on the kind
all
of
the nuts. And then it's also International Stuttering Awareness Day. There's so many people that stutter.
And used to stutter.
And then there's a song that always comes to mind too. Stutter, stutter.
So there's talking about stuttering. There's this very prominent speaker now who is an international speaker who used to have a very, very bad stutter. But you see, to everybody that stutters, you can learn to overcome it. There's a way. There's a way. At times, he actually put out a plan and then there are some times also when he's not maybe in front of people and you can still know that, okay, there's a stutter somewhere. He still does it. Yeah, it can still be there. But you can learn to overcome or actually gloss over your deficiencies. Stuttering also as one of them.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that if it's a challenge that you have, then you have to look for a way to overcome it. You know.
I'm sure it's something that can be worked on. And for those who stutter, it's your day.
Anyway, we have to take the news now, and I want to take my hat to the side as we do that.
Hopefully not your brain, though.
Now, the federal government has been asked to close Nigeria's borders against foreign herdsmen. The Benue State Governor, Samuel Ortom, made this call after visiting a farmer who was attacked recently on her farm by herdsmen. Mayowa Okunato reports.
Suspected herdsmen launched an attack on Bogio village in Guma local government area of Benue State, cutting off a woman's hand on her farm. Grace Zeku was alone on her farm when she was attacked by hoodlums. We paid a visit to her at the Federal Medical Center in Makurdi, where she is receiving treatment.
On this fateful day, I went to the farm. While farming, I heard a strange voice. I started seeking where the noise was coming from. When I was hit on head with a cutlass, while struggling from my life, with them, they chopped off my left hand before I escaped.
The Benue State Governor, Samuel Ortom, accompanied by his wife and some government officials, also visited Grace at the hospital. After consoling her, he assured her that the culprits would be brought to justice. Governor Ortom is in support of the ranching system, but urges the federal government to look into tightening borders to avoid terrorists coming into the country as herders.
We must enforce the law on ranching. And the only way we can separate the good ones from the bad ones is when we have stock of all herdsmen in Benue State. And I want to advise the federal government to close border on also herdsmen who are foreigners.
He says security would be beefed up in the areas where the attack took place. Bogio village is a border community between Benue State and Nasarawa State. Mayowa Okunato, TVC News, Makurdi.
Now, two British nationals identified as James Richard Nolan and Adam Quinn have been remanded in prison in connection with money laundering charges. Now, those charges were brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and are related to the £9.6 billion arbitral award to P&ID Limited by a UK court. The two were docked on a 16-count charge to which they pleaded not guilty. Justice Okon Abang of the Federal High Court in Abuja struck out count 9 of the charges on the grounds that a court of law has no jurisdiction to entertain a charge against a non-registered person. Trial will begin on November 20th. Kogi State has a new deputy governor less than 3 weeks to the governorship election. Edward Onoja, former chief of staff to Governor Yahaya Bello, was sworn in to replace Simon Ochuba. Mr. Ochuba was impeached some days ago, but says the process was illegal. He says he's still the deputy governor. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. So we've got our chef right here now. You know how it is. You know what we always say on the show. When a new chef is around, they always do a nice spread for us. And so we're going to be doing something special today, and it's called seafood pasta, right?
Yes, seafood pasta.
So tell us how this is going to work. Let's go over the ingredients first.
Okay.
And then the first thing that we're going to do.
Okay. What I have here for the ingredients, so I have olive oil. So I have garlic paste.
So that's garlic paste?
Yeah, this is garlic paste.
How did you make that?
You peel the garlic and then you add some oil and then you blend it.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's garlic paste.
Yes, garlic paste.
All right, so what do we have here?
This is seafood, and we have fish. We have calamari, and then we have prawns. So you can as well add other.
What did you do with these prawns? Did you bring out the prawns from the shell or something? Yeah,
it
looks a bit different.
Yeah, you need to remove the shell, so you can cook it like that.
All right, okay, so that's prawns.
Yeah, that's prawns.
And then what do we have here?
I have pasta here, and this pasta is penny. So you can go as well and use any of your choice of pasta. Right. So we have a lot of pasta.
Different kinds of pasta.
But it depends on your choice.
All right.
And I have chili here.
Okay, so this is chili.
Yeah, this is chili. So I have tomato sauce.
Okay.
Okay, and I have my Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
Okay, and I have my meat season. So this is my personal,
Okay, your own personal
yes,
make.
yes,
So this is like a secret ingredient.
Yes, secret.
I don't know, tell anyone.
So and I also have I have fresh tomatoes, onions, and fresh basil leaves. So
all right.
I have sauce.
So it looks like we're going to start getting ready. The first thing you said we're going to do is to fry.
We just deep fry this one a bit.
So are you deep frying everything together?
Yes, everything together. No, everything together. I have to season it and before we deep fry.
All right, so let's put that pan on there.
Okay.
This all you have here, is this enough?
Yeah. Yes.
Or you want a little more?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so this is fine.
It is fine, yeah.
Okay, so of course, we have
water for the pasta.
The water for the pasta.
Yeah,
so when this boils, you then put it inside.
Yes.
And you put a little salt in there.
Yes, a little pour salt. And some people also put some oil, but
okay, you can put some oil.
Yeah,
as well.
but you never need. You never
okay.
need. For me, it's never need.
Okay, so that's very nice. I'm curious to know why you separated the chili from the tomato.
Yeah, the chili have to be little. Some might say, okay, I want it spicy. And most of us, we like it spicy.
Yeah.
So otherwise,
in Nigeria, we just mix everything together and blend it.
No. That doesn't work.
Okay, so this is just tomato paste.
Yeah, this is just tomato paste. So, and there's nothing like chili in it.
Yeah.
So like Western, this is Western food, So they don't go much for chili like that. Yeah, they don't even, most of them, they don't even, take chili at all.
Right.
So, except the request, and that is conditional order for you. If they're okay, I want it spicy. That's a difference.
So with the leaves themselves, you call them basil leaves?
Yeah, that's basil leaves.
Is there any other one that we can use if we don't really use this one, if we can't find it?
Yeah, this is the best leaf for pasta, for seafood pasta.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So you can as well use parsley.
Okay, parsley. Okay.
Yeah, but these basil leaves, have its natural flavor. Yes. So and by the time you are eating this, and then
it's just very nice.
Yes.
It looks like in this paste I can see some vegetables or something. Some
yes,
greens.
Some herbs. It's called herbs.
Okay, you put
herbs.
Okay.
And this tomato paste, tomato sauce, there is basil leaves in this tomato sauce.
Right,
so that's one of the. That's why you can see some greenery.
So just to give it that full, that full flavor. Are you going to season any of this before?
Yes, I'm going to season this lightly. Then before we just deep fry.
Okay, so maybe we should just do that while we're we're running off in a few minutes.
You're right.
Okay, so we're going to be taking a break now. Don't go anywhere. Something special is happening in the kitchen right here. Welcome back. We like bringing you all these health tips that just help you live a better life, as it were. And Dr. Isima is here this morning to discuss how to deal with unwanted hairs and how this can be a big problem, especially if those hairs are showing in the wrong places, if you know what I mean. And she is certified by the Academy, the Academy of Aesthetics, Medicine and Pastiche Training Institute. And her core is managing skin, acne, pigmentation disorders, scarrings, and different things as well. Now, so of course, she's joining us this morning to talk about this issue. Unwanted hairs, especially when it shows up in the wrong places, can be a big deal and a distraction for many people. Yes. It can even affect your confidence. Yes, so talk to us about this issue.
Okay, so basically unwanted hair growth is hair growth in an area where you would normally not want hair to grow, or if hair is growing in a normal area but it's causing some effects such as ingrown hairs, bumps, things like that. So this affects women and men because of the second part of what I said.
Yeah, very true. So, so I've seen a number of people who, so for instance, let's start with women, where you would see a woman have beards, maybe not too many, but in certain locations, yes. And then they try to shave it off, and then it then brings all manners of irritations and things like that. Yeah. So, but what are the causes? Let's talk about the causes first. So why would people have hairs in places where you normally wouldn't?
Okay, so the first thing is sometimes there's no known cause. It may just be a combination of different things going on. It cannot necessarily be traced to anything in particular. Then sometimes there's a genetic component to it. And then also there could be a hormonal factor going on. So a background disease that has something to do with the hormones. So for a lot of women that have polycystic ovarian syndrome, this hair growth is part of what could occur as a result. And then there are other more severe causes, but generally there are things that are mainly benign. So some of the severe causes may be, unfortunately, tumors that end up secreting, causing an excessive secretion of hormones that now translates to this hair growth. So there are a lot of factors.
So for the hormonal issues, can they be balanced? Is this something that can be dealt with to reverse this process of hair growth?
Okay, so with the hormonal factors, the first thing to do would be to determine the cause, where exactly this issue is coming from. And then from there, we try to bring up solutions to the problem. So it may not necessarily stop the hair growth immediately, but it could help to find out if there's something more severe going on, so we could address that and then eventually take care of the hairs as well.
All right, so let's talk about managing this situation, because sometimes you talked about genetic issues and all of that. So if it's something that's natural to me, then how do I manage it? So for instance, hairs in places that people can actually see, especially for women, before we talk about ingrowth, which can happen to men as well. Just talk to us about that.
Okay, so in terms of managing the hairs now, just speaking of ways to remove the hairs. So there are different methods. It could be shaving, which is something that is common to almost everybody. There could be waxing, tweezing, plucking. Then there's also something called electrolysis, which means using an electrical device to pick out the hairs one by one, and then laser hair removal. So everything that I've mentioned, they have advantages and disadvantages, but so far the best way to remove hair is actually laser hair removal, because what you see from laser hair removal is that the hair texture also changes. Part of what happens, especially with the ingrowns, is that the hairs turn back in to the skin and then cause those bumps and things. So with the laser, it changes the texture of the hair.
So people who are unable to access laser technology, or maybe because of the price or because they don't have access to it, and they are then stuck with the lesser forms like shaving and all that. What's the best way to avoid infections and ingrown hairs and things like that?
Okay, so one thing you can do while shaving is to try to shave in one direction when shaving the hair. So some people may just go diagonally and then cross any way, but generally if you shave in one direction, it helps. Then also ensuring that you take care of the skin immediately after shaving. So also nothing too harsh on the skin. A lot of people may think that they need to really sanitize the area after, but it's usually best to be using calm products on the skin.
Yeah, but when you say take care of the skin, what is immediately after shaving? What does that mean?
So just wash the skin, check for any cuts, and take care of those areas, and then watch the skin afterwards to ensure that there are no. If it looks like there wants to be ingrown hairs, you may need to shave again, or consider other methods of hair removal.
I've also heard about some people taking out their hair permanently. Is that an extreme measure? Because I know that that's different from laser technology.
Yeah, so that's the electrolysis, where an electrical device is used. Well, it's a tedious process that usually takes a series of treatments. So it's not where one treatment takes care of all the hairs. We usually would recommend electrolysis for hairs that are not pigmented, meaning like gray hairs or white hairs, because that won't work with the laser. But if you have a lot of hairs that you need to remove, it's a tedious process, and it can cause scarring as well.
Wow. Anyway, Dr. Isime, thank you so much for bringing this up for us today, and hopefully we've learned a thing or two, those people watching us out there. Anyway, it's over to Mike and Ice for the latest in the world of entertainment. Hey, Mike.
That's you. Let's take a look at happenings around the world of entertainment. I've got ICE here with me. She's a media personality, broadcaster, and the host of the talk show with Ice. All right, so, straight up, it's good to have you, by the way. Yeah, you're welcome. I love this black on you.
Thank you.
Making mad sense. Okay, so social media has been agog over the past few days with Davido and the latest celebrity father in town and all of that. No congratulations have been rolling in and all of that. This is his third child and his first son, you know. And there's been a lot of, he already has endorsements, he already has accounts. In fact, before he was already born, there was already endorsements, man. Yeah. You should have been born to a celebrity or something, really. What's up? What's the buzz? How's the buzz so much for this one?
Okay, right now, that's like the biggest news in Nigeria, Africa right now. Davido has a son, the OBO Jr. So what do you expect? Endorsement deals even before he was born.
Even before he was born.
And now he has about 200 fake accounts on Instagram.
I mean, at times I wonder what these fake accounts, what do they stand to gain? I don't know. Well, are we so gullible that...
I think it's followers, most times followers. You understand? They want to open fan page for you, probably to sell.
You know, talking about fan page, Toto DK put up something
on
about
Instagram,
about fan pages and all of that. She was saying that, so you use the fan pages to get followers and then you sell the account.
Yes, that's what they do.
That's what a number of people do.
That's what they do, many people.
That's what they do.
You know, Nigeria, you have to hustle and make this money any which way.
You have to make it.
Any which way.
You do. All right, so yeah, that's him. That's Davido. I don't know, are we seeing, let's listen to this a bit.
My boy here, man. My son here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Those are the accounts. Okay.
He looks super excited.
All right,
I'm so
cool.
happy
So now, two very big things happened over the weekend, and we're still reviewing them. The Headies, of course, and Wizkid's Starboy Fest. But let's go with, there was not so much noise about Wizkid's Starboy Fest in the country. You know, I know a lot of people who are entertainment people, and they didn't even really know about what happened.
Yeah.
How come we didn't hear so much about the Wizkid Starboy Fest?
There's a reason why you're called Starboy.
Okay.
He's called Starboy for a reason.
Okay.
And, you know, he has gotten to that point where he doesn't have to do so much publicity to get this crowd and these people come through, because apparently on the flyer he didn't post any big artist on the flyer, and we had Burna Boy, we had Malik Berry, we had YC, we had Banks, and a host of Naira Marley and all of them. It was big, yeah.
What about Naira Marley's performance and all of that? Naira Marley's an enigma. Like, so he's someone that everybody will come and insult. I talk about you a lot. You insult him, nonsense song, nonsense guy, everything. But man, once you just hear inside life,
you will move. It's like everybody. It's like the life of the party right now.
Yeah, like, they the level whereby they just start the song. They don't need to sing.
Trust me.
So they just start. 1, 2.
I'm actually happy.
The whole that will do your work for you. You still get it. When
Trust me.
Come on, man. When you're big, you're big.
You're big. The fact that he did it for Africa is what I actually like the most. He put these young guys on, Oxlade, Fireboy, and all of that. It was really big.
True.
Trust me.
Wonderful. So while that was happening, of course, right here in Nigeria, it was the Headies. The Headies, a number of people have argued that it is not as prestigious as it used to be. You know, of course, they missed 1 year, but then they're back with the 13th Headies. And what do you think about the Headies event?
Personally, I'm not a big fan of it. Like I'm not even moved. Trust me, because it's not like the way it used to be before. I know the Headies of before. When you get an Headies award, you come and you're praying and you're singing and you're kneeling. The likes of Omaomi, Patoranking and co. But you see, right now it's just like it's looking like a Don Jazzy award. I said that before because when I checked the nominees list, you see the likes of Crayon, I don't know his song, the likes of Ladipo on a category and they're amazing artists, you understand? Yeah. Now Rema winning the Next Rated 2
of course,
over Fireboy, over Zlatan, you know, it was...
Okay, so who would you have picked for Next Rated?
Okay, 2 things. Now, music-wise, lyrical content, writing and all of that, maybe Fireboy for me.
Okay.
Do you understand? Okay. Or maybe Rema. Okay. But you see, talking about being a big artist right now, hits upon hits and all of that, is Zlatan for me.
Hey,
trust me.
Man.
It's just, it's one.
Okay, the man's like, yeah, he's the man. He has had so many interesting collabos and all of that. He has done so well. But then apart from that, Tenny also was a big winner. She picked up 4 awards. Falz the Bad Guy, 3 awards and all of that. And and then of course, she brought up Mike of Big Brother. They performed her song together and all of that. It seemed like a whole feel good and all of that. But do you think it's still, now there's the Sound City, there's the MVP Awards. Do you think the Headies can get back to where they were?
I don't think they can. Because the point when you start probably receiving cash gifts, or because right now I see like something that they are doing for, okay, I'm going to give you an award because I want you to come perform. Okay. That's how it's like, because Rema was not even in the country before. He was in London, and all of a sudden he's in Lagos, he's performing. He was like the biggest artist apart from Tenny that performed on that stage that night. Right. And Zlatan was, I know if Zlatan was available to come for that event, probably would have given it to him.
Okay, it does happen. There's quite a number of politics behind the scene on those kind of awards. But then, thank you very much, Ice. It was great having you.
Yeah,
and,
thank you very much.
all right, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that's all on entertainment news. We'll take this a short break. Don't go nowhere. There's still so much more. Yomi is in the kitchen. He's getting ready. It's seafood. He's not so enthusiastic, but he will have to do it today. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the kitchen. Something special is happening right here. And I've got a sieve in my hand, and we're about to sieve the pasta in the sink over there, and to just then continue with our action, right? So let me just help out with this. I should do it gradually and then bring it back to you. Okay, so tell us what next is going to be happening after this. We're about to splice everything together in the frying pan there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us what next is going to be happening.
So just keep
okay, so we've already fried the seafood. So that's already been deep fried, lightly fried. Okay, so but what's next now with the ingredients?
The next thing now to start in the real business.
Okay, so this is the real business now. Let's get to it. All right.
So we have our olive oil here. Okay. So the temperature have to be a little bit high.
Okay, you want it to be very hot?
Yes.
Okay. So once the olive oil is hot, obviously.
So I start with my onions.
With the onions, okay.
Yes. So with other process. So let's start now. I hope it's not very hot as I want.
Okay, but we'll just make do with that for now. Yeah. It's getting hotter.
Okay.
I like the skill of the mixture that you're doing there. I like that. Okay, so what goes in next after?
So the next thing now, so I will add my garlic paste.
Okay. Okay. Once that gets a little bit hot.
Yeah, a little hot and a little bit brown.
Okay, so the garlic paste. Now you said how you made this garlic paste was like you chopped the garlic and then you put in the little bit of oil.
It. Okay. You peel it. You add olive oil. And then
you blend it. Okay, that's how you came up with that. That's how I come with
the garlic paste. Okay. We also have ginger paste as well and all that.
All right, so if you're just joining us, we're making seafood pasta. And the seafood pasta here is a mixture of many things, and it's a truly international dish. We have different things. So here we have prawns.
We only have 3 items
here.
Yeah. So you can add every seafood that you have in this world.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, there's escallop, there's mussels and others and so.
Okay, and then we have chili.
Yeah, we have chili.
Blended chili here.
A little bit chili,
and then
we have tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce. Yep. We have our tomatoes.
We have fresh tomato and we have fresh basil leaves.
Basil leaves, and of course your secret ingredients, the mix. And yeah, so you have your Parmesan cheese that you've cut up here.
Parmesan cheese is purely made for pasta.
For pasta?
For pasta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
As we're going all the way to Italy today. And so let us know when it's ready to put in the garlic paste.
Yes, I think some seconds now we can add the garlic.
In a few seconds we can add the garlic. Yeah. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So you were saying earlier that the basil leaves are best for pasta because of the natural flavor that it gives
the natural flavors, yes. So if you can't find that, if you can't find your basil leaves, as I said, so you can use fresh parsley.
Fresh parsley is good.
Yeah, fresh parsley, so you can use that.
So it looks like we're ready.
Yeah, so we can add garlic paste now.
Garlic paste.
Just a little, will be fine. Just like 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon.
Yeah, will be fine.
And then mix that up.
Yeah. Should mix that.
I really have to learn this skill.
It's very easy.
Because other people will just use their spoon to mix it up, but you are giving that extra jump.
It's another, what do I call it now?
Another level of skill.
Not skill. It's make me ginger.
Oh, okay. It gives you that,
gives
you a little bit of energy. Okay,
so now we are adding our fresh tomatoes.
Fresh tomatoes.
Yeah. Fresh tomatoes. So fresh tomato.
So you were saying that, so if this was international, you probably wouldn't put any chili.
Yes.
Because this is Nigeria, we have to
Nigeria, so, you know,
mix things up a little bit.
So, you know, we do a lot of gogoro things. And,
yeah. So you have to have some pepper in that thing so that it can give you some...
Oh, you don't want pepper?
Oh, no, yeah. Pepper is good.
If you don't want chili in it, so I can just do it straight away.
With the tomato,
yeah,
with the tomato sauce.
You can,
let's add some chili. I'm sure we'll appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so while that is getting hot, so what's the next thing that goes in?
The next thing also, I will add my tomato sauce.
Okay, tomato sauce with the tomato, and
then the chili.
A little bit of chili.
Chili, yeah, then my seasoning.
Okay, yeah, then the special seasoning.
Yes.
You're going to tell me what the secret ingredient is.
I won't tell you because you want to steal my menu.
I'll package it and go and sell it.
No, I won't tell you.
All right, okay, so that's fine. So things are taking shape. So you said eventually we're going to be putting this seed pasta in there as well as the finishing.
Yes, as the finishing.
Wow. Yeah. It's going to be very nice. Whoever's going to be tasting this food today. So. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be super nice. I don't know if we can get a screen on the screen to get the ingredients and just put the ingredients on the screen so our viewers can see it. And okay, so that's probably not ready. But anyway, let's just go over the ingredients once again, just one final time, so that everyone who is trying to do this at home will be able to do it. So start with the seafood. So the ones we have here.
Yeah. The one we have here, we have only 3 items here.
3 items, yeah.
We have calamari, we have prawns, and we have fish.
Okay, and we have fish. So any kind of fish will do.
Any kind of fish, but it have to be boneless.
Okay, it has to be boneless fish.
It has to be boneless,
so that you don't
injure some people.
Injure someone. Yeah. Now we have basil leaves.
We have basil leaves,
yeah. Already in there we have...
our onion, chopped onions, garlic paste, and chopped fresh tomatoes.
Fresh tomatoes. Yeah. And then you said that Parmesan cheese is best for pasta.
It's best for pasta, yeah.
And you've already chopped that up for us here as well.
Yeah, it's great that.
Yeah, so of course, if you want, this is optional, you can put some chili.
You can put some chili, yeah.
You can put chili, but
tomato sauce
is not optional.
It's not
definitely
optional.
Has to be there.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the main thing.
Yeah, and then your secret ingredient.
Yes, secret.
So, but this can be seasoning cubes, any kind of seasoning.
Yeah, you can be. Yeah, so, you know, people are running away from cubes, you know.
Yeah. So people, because of the high sodium
diabetes, whatever. So we can go now with our tomato sauce.
Okay, so it looks like we're ready for tomato sauce. So, lots of that.
So you can see now.
Things are taking shape.
We're already getting there.
We're getting there.
So a bit of chili. You want it very spicy or mild?
Mild. Somewhere in the middle. Not too much.
Okay.
So I noticed that at this point you haven't seasoned any. You haven't seasoned it at all yet. So you're still, putting everything together.
Exactly. Before we do.
Okay. Because usually by now you'd have put all the salt and everything, dumped a lot of things in there. Okay. So it's still fresh. It's still basically. So now we have the ingredients on the screen. Lovely. So we have chili, onion, seasoning, any kind of seasoning that you want, garlic pasta. Well, somebody said sesame seed.
Garlic paste,
garlic paste. Garlic paste.
Sesame seed is not there.
Oh, no, well, we don't have sesame seed for today. But then vegetable oil. Obviously, we have...
olive oil.
Then we have salt. Of course, prawns is one of the things that we use. And... tomato sauce as well.
Yeah, tomato sauce.
And Parmesan cheese, which definitely has to go in there as well. And basil leaves.
Basil leaves, yeah.
Yes. Very nice.
So we're almost there now.
We're almost there.
So we can go
and, it's nice and...
Yeah. So we need to taste. You want to have a taste before we season?
Okay, a taste before we season. So let me just get a spoon there. Find one of those spoons. Trying to. There.
Okay, separate this. Go ahead. So before we season it, so I can see.
There you go. Before we season it. Yeah. I'm tasting it for everyone in the studio. Very nice.
Okay. So we need season now.
It's remarkable how it tastes, even without any kind of seasoning.
Yeah, because the tomato sauce here is already seasoned lightly.
Lightly seasoned already.
Lightly
that's
seasoned.
the tomato sauce.
Yeah, that is tomato sauce.
Very nice, very nice.
Anyway, so I have to taste before I season.
Okay, before you season, yeah. So you know where it's where it stands.
Yeah.
Okay. Putting that seasoning.
Yeah. So now we go in with the seafood.
Yeah. Things are taking shape right here. Like, look at that, look at that, look at that. Looking very appealing. Anyway, so you guys are going to see the end product later on. It's looking really, really good here. But I believe that it's time for some DIY with Mary and Fahida.
Thank you, Yomi. It seems like we will be showing you the end product here as well because of time. But first, let me introduce Fahida Ola. She is the creative director of Fahida Ola Jewelry, which is a design brand inspired by ancient African inscriptions found mostly in the eastern part of Nigeria. She was going to show us how to make a simple choker with denim. Instead, she's just going to run us through the process because of time. So tell us how you achieve this.
Okay, first of all, you have to measure your neck. So the typical neck size is a size 12. Okay. So this is elastic.
Okay.
So afterwards, you have to carefully use a measuring tape or a ruler and get the measurements right. Okay. So you need to carefully tick the places where you drop your bead or any other thing you're using to design. Okay. So afterwards, we're done. So let me put that on, yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Now, I noticed you use a lot of eco-friendly products.
Yes.
Yes. Take, for example, this. Now, most people might not realize that this is actually plastic.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us more about how you make use of
okay,
stuff
so
like that.
I'm an environment person.
Okay.
So I believe that plastic is a major issue we have in Nigeria. It's the biggest pollution we have at the moment. So I'm in partnership with Eco Restoration Foundation, where we try to save the earth, you know, protect, restore, you know, the coastal wetlands across Nigeria. Okay. So I use plastic because you can see I didn't bring in anything here. All my stuff, they're all in a plastic bottle. Yeah. So I use plastic to add to saving the earth and all that.
Take, for example, this choker.
Yeah.
So we have this elastic.
Yes.
And then, of course, the plastic used to design it. This could also be denim, right? Maybe
yes.
old jeans and stuff.
Yes, yes.
So how did you bend this? Using what?
So you can fry.
Fry?
Yes, cook.
Okay.
Sometimes I use the oven.
Okay.
But to achieve this, I use the lighter.
Okay.
So I just put it on the plastic and it melts. So you can turn it to any shape that you like.
Okay.
You can turn it to a tiny seed of bead, can turn it to a very big design for your clothing or your choker. Okay. So this, I got this from an abandoned raffia I saw somewhere in a shop.
Okay.
And I picked it up and I'm a very creative person, so I can create something with this. So I found wool and I tied it up and got this.
That's
choker.
how you got
yes,
it.
Yeah.
Oh, so basically it's just a case of using products we can find around the house, not just even plastic,
not
but
just plastic.
abandoned stuff to create chokers.
Yes. So this is leather, 100% leather.
Okay.
And Ankara. And I said my jewelry is all Afro-inspired and eco-friendly.
Fantastic. So Afro-inspired, eco-friendly.
Yes.
Fahida Ola with that. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
The first hour of the show is over. The second hour, rather, is over. The third hour comes up shortly. Stay with us.
how's your morning going so far? 2 hours already. You know, I was busy in the kitchen doing something really special.
Yeah.
Seafood pasta.
The aroma is amazing.
The aroma is amazing.
Wow.
And you know, one of the secrets to having a great meal is toning down the seasoning.
Yeah.
When you tone it down, then you can get a taste of everything. So I'm becoming
the natural taste of it.
I'm becoming a professional
chef. Yeah, right. Well, we've been having a really good Tuesday morning. No jokes about that, really. Especially Yomi, who has been having a ball in the kitchen.
Yes, I have. I've learned a thing or two this morning. And anyways, thank you for sticking around with us. My name is Yomi Uwope.
And I am Mary Bashua Alimi. You can also watch the show via live streaming at tvcentertainment.tv.
Of course, you can also check us out on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in your comments across our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, Facebook. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Now, keep in mind that the TVC app is available for download. That's at both Android and iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world.
Anyways, we're going straight to the rest of the highlights this morning. Let me adjust my hat properly. Now, joining us for parenting to discuss communicating with today's child is founder of Lagos Dads, Jesu Tola Ajao. Lastly, we're going to be joined by Nollywood actress Patience Emmanuel.
You forget my wife. My wife who needs 2 more. How can somebody use 2 hands to hold one?
So, Range Rover is trending.
Why?
You'll be surprised why it's trending.
Why?
And Range Rover and iPhone 11.
Oh, okay, now we understand.
You'll be surprised why it's trending.
Range Rover and iPhone 11. Why
I'm telling you, Bobrisky.
Oh, gosh.
Bobrisky bought a Range Rover.
No, someone bashed his Range. And so they have everything on video.
He drives a Range?
So
oh, wow, okay.
He or she's a big person. So everything is on video. They fight that happen. Mama turn gangster or like heroes. He fight. They came down, drag phone, hit his phone down.
Was he driving?
He was driving and then they came down. Someone bashed his Range and all that. And then the guy goes in. But last night, the guy slept in his cell over the night.
The guy
Which
that
of the guy?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the guy
that bashed him. You know, so normally, especially when on roads, generally, I just want to say that normally people, when things happen, you know, if you are at fault, the first thing to do is to say, maybe, you know, own up and probably apologize.
Exactly.
You know, especially normally when, you know, in traffic rules, whenever it's from behind, you are at fault.
Yeah.
By default, you're at fault. You know, so you never know. So the Baba was thinking, do you know who I am? And Baba slept in jail that night. And later I said, we had some moments. So what I want to draw is that part, you know. So Baba was breaking when everything, saw cameras, everything was the name Baba slept in jail.
The man in him came out.
Baba came out and said it was a small misunderstanding and all of that. You know, and from the video you can almost see everything that happened. So
wow,
you know. Do you know who I am? That thing has put a lot of people in trouble.
Do you know who I am? That infamous statement. Do you know who I am?
Anyway, I'm sure.
Seafood there. Oh, it's all
gone, I'm very okay with it. Now, you can see on your screen right there, that's seafood pasta. And we've been hard at work all morning putting this together for you. Now, Chef, tell us what happened here, because it looks beautiful. But if they've not been with us for the past 2 hours, they wouldn't know what really happened.
Exactly. There's no magic. Yeah. So we have our chopped onions.
Yeah.
Those are the ingredients I'm talking about. Onions, then garlic paste.
Yeah.
Fresh tomatoes. Okay. We have tomato sauce as well.
Yeah, then we'll put a little bit of chili to just spice it up a little bit.
That's optional, as I said, yeah.
So then our seafood as well. We'll
our seafood as well.
Deep fry that.
Just deep fry lightly, and then we mix it with.
Of course, you can see the menu there on your screen. Lots of things. Salt. Of course, we have onions, prawns, olive oil, garlic paste, tomato sauce, fish.
Snail is not safe.
Anyway, so the food is ready. The food is ready. We're going to be plating it in a few minutes. We have to head back to the couch where Mary is on standby with a gentleman who calls himself Lagos Dad.
Even I did a double take when I saw Mike in the kitchen with you. Thank you so much.
Many focus, Mary, focus.
All right, thank you for staying tuned, of course. I have here with me the founder of Lagos Dads, Jesu Tola Ajao. He has a platform which was birthed to help men better lead and love their family for a lasting marriage and a positive influence on their children as well. Today, Jesu Tola will be talking about communicating right with your children, which is a very, very, very important subject. So I'm just going to hit the nail on the head. How do we communicate better with our children, especially for you as a father? How do you achieve that?
Good morning again. It's good to see you.
Great to have you here.
Okay. First and foremost, parenting is more about the parents than it is with kids. And so moving from the cultural system, we grew up to understand, we inherited. It's because of the twist in the society right now. It is very, very important for parents to understand that communication is a very, very great tool in parenting. Okay, so first, to earn the trust of your children, you must talk to them.
So the first thing is to earn their trust.
You must earn their trust. It is the standard. That's how they will be able to open up to you when they're in trouble, when there's something going on in their life. You must earn their trust. And how you're going to do that is by constantly talking to them, checking up on them. I think that for some of us that grew up probably in the from the 80s that were African parents, most of the issues we had was because we don't get to talk to our parents. So most times when we're in trouble, we just hide or probably get into more trouble trying to hide from our parents because we don't get to talk to them.
When we could have saved ourselves of a lot of stress by simply being truthful.
Yes, truthful and talking to them. But it's because our parents have actually set the standard of, oh, I must be this strict. I must be very, very strict. So, but today's children want someone who is going to love them and talk to them. So to communicate right, you must be their friends. First as a parent, but most importantly as a friend, which is very, very important right now.
Okay, so first earn their trust, then be their friend.
Yes.
What else do I need to know to maintain that relationship, especially as a dad?
Okay.
A busy dad especially.
Of course, yeah. Well, then when they open up to you, do not judge them. Quite a lot of things are going on in the society right now. I think friendship in school, quite a lot of children are suffering and they cannot talk to their parents because of they are afraid someone might judge them, especially at home.
Okay.
So when they open up to you, do not judge them. Try and find a solution.
So how do you manage the lack of judgment? Like, how do you...
It's actually very difficult.
It's actually difficult.
It is difficult. It is very, very difficult. But then if you consider the consequence of judging them, you would want to go the other way.
Okay.
Because by the time you judge them, they are going to just go back into not telling you anything anymore.
For those who do not understand what you mean by judging, what do you mean by judging? Like, don't judge them. What you could cite certain examples of a parent who has already judged a child.
Okay, there was a case of a 13-year-old who has constantly been abused by their driver.
Gosh.
And that went on for, I think, 6 months. But because the mother is always busy, the father is always busy, there was nobody available for the lady to talk to. The driver was the only person around. Yeah. So then one day she summoned the courage to tell the mother, and then the father heard about it, and then he went all above board. But because she's been used to the sexual relationship with an adult, even after they sacked the driver, she went on to someone else.
Whoa.
Because rather than talk to her, educate her, let her understand, they went on to shout, why did you tell us? Why did you say this? Why did you speak with someone? Why did you engage in such thing with an adult, with someone at this age, you know? So she didn't learn anything from the old shouting. she just moved on to, okay, I don't think this is what they want to hear. I think I should just move on to doing this, because she doesn't actually know the consequence.
Wow. And then there's also the possibility of alienating your children even because of the way you react to issues.
Yes.
So even sometimes silence is also a problem. So it depends on how you handle the issue as well.
I think the thing we should pay attention more to is trying to educate them more with how we correct them. You know, most of the things we need to do, most of our instructions should be corrective.
Okay. So it should be focused more on corrective, maintaining the relationship with our children, and most especially
very, very important.
Earning their trust. Fantastic. Thank you so much for this, Jessitola. All right, we'll go on a break and return with our last guest for today. Stay with us as Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final stretch of the show.
Yep, it is.
Patience Emmanuel is joining us. And she is an actor and the producer of the series Mr. and Mrs. Okorafor.
She also hosted the maiden edition stage 2018 and is also known for her candid talk on Facebook and Instagram.
Niger Posh chick.
Yeah. Okay, that's a page. Like, wow. What do you talk about on that page? Let's do some. You have sessions with people, right?
She's very candid. She'll say anything.
Actually, a bit very vocal, so I won't be able to say that on this platform. Sorry.
She's very vocal, Mike.
We want to go to a break now so I can have a session.
Anyway, so you can find her on Niger Post Chick and you know, make a comment. You know, let her know that you watched her this morning.
So, but what is it about? Is it about solving problems, or is just you talking?
It's solving relationship issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so I take out time to talk to quite a number of people.
All right.
They send me messages. Women reach out to me, so I help them. Tell them exactly what it is that men are expecting of you and
do you know what we expect?
Sincerely, I do, yes. To be honest, I do, yes, to a large extent.
Maybe lots of men confide in you and tell you, yeah.
Point exactly, yeah. So men to reach out to me and they have issues and they're like, oh, my girlfriend is doing this, blah, blah, blah. And so I ask them, what do you want from a woman?
Right.
Like, so I've talked to like 1, 2, 3 other guys and I realized that most men have the same issue.
Yeah, consistent.
Yeah, exactly. They want something from women, and probably women are not like reciprocating what they actually want. So I felt the best option would be open a platform where I can actually advise women on what these men want them to do. Yeah.
So happy birthday to your son.
Oh yeah, thank you. And mine is tomorrow actually.
Oh, your birthday is tomorrow.
Yes.
How did you arrange it now?
I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Sincerely, it was just a miracle.
Okay, but then you are an actress, an actor, and you've been in the industry. You took a break, and you got back into it.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to come back after the break? Why the break, and why did you decide to come back?
Okay, first off, my passion has actually been acting from the initial stage. So I started off in 2006, and up until 2008, my mom died in 2008, and I promised her that I was going to go back to school.
Okay.
So which I did. Then after school, I needed money, sincerely. And of course, you and I know that the industry wasn't really like bringing in funds at the time. So I went back to school, and when I was done, I got a job with MTN. I worked with MTN for a few years. Then I also got an NGO job outside. So I was working in Liberia for about 2.5 years.
Liberia?
Yeah, up
So
until
what was that
October last
experience
year.
like working in Liberia?
Sincerely, I would say it was challenging because it was something I wasn't really used to doing.
Why did you decide to do it?
To be honest,
yeah,
the money.
I like you.
I like that.
Straight up, man.
I
have a passion for humanity.
Most of them would tell you.
So 2.5 years in
the money.
And then you came back home.
Yeah, so I came back October last year, 19th actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came back with the notion of, okay, the yearning, that passion has always been there. So I said, fine, what can I do to do a comeback, you know, because more like nobody knows patience anymore. So I was like, okay, fine, the best option would be to do my own stuff. Then I've always had the idea of Mr. and Mrs. Okorafor. It's always been there. So I wrote the script myself. And yeah, so I was like, let me shoot this thing. And I called the likes of Ujam Sibrel, who's my very good friend. And then we brought life to the project, Mr. and Mrs. Okorafor.
That's amazing. And it's a comedy.
Yes, it
so
is.
tell us a
actually.
little bit about it. Give us some background, because what we saw on the screen looks quite interesting. And
Okay, so yeah, it's basically about the family, Mr. and Mrs. Okorafor.
Okay.
So Mr. Okorafor is a serial cheat, and Mrs. Okorafor happens to be, but he loves his wife, in as much as he can't help it, but he loves his wife. So his wife will always catch him on every episode. You get to see him trying to do all the funny stuff, and then the wife would always get to find out.
You play the catchy.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you're the writer of the script.
I
So that
wrote
means you have a
Mr.
comedy
Okorafor.
script, comedy streak as well.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah, I guess so. I am. I always say that I can't really read myself, sincerely. I just know that I'm comfortable doing anything as entertainment, so I am able to play around with stuff. And when the ideas just come, and anyways, I'm just going to leave that part. I wanted to say something, but anyways,
okay, and also, you know, a number of people do comedy these days because they feel like that's what sells. You know, because people feel that the country's too hard. Like, people need to chill and laugh. So the, you know, all the Nollywood had to do with all the rituals and you know, the supernatural stuff and all of that. But these days, people want to just chill. And if you didn't have to tend to the public need, what a genre movie, what kind of a movie would you do if you didn't have to tend to public need?
Okay, sincerely, if I know that a family story would make more sense. Okay. But then, if I wasn't going to tend to family need, to the audience, I would probably be doing something action.
I just had that feeling that you say action.
Exactly, yeah. Because that would basically be me thinking outside the box. Okay. And I love challenging things, so I'll go for action.
Because that's one genre that Nollywood has not really...
not tried out, There's enough funding out there that,
it's a bit challenging.
It is.
Because you then have to introduce so many elements.
Exactly, yeah.
It is. So who's your favorite action character? Locally, international, any...
Locally? I don't know.
We remember Gentle Jack now.
And Hank and
Hanks and Nuku, those guys there.
Seriously?
Those guys are action heroes. Those are like
I don't know
Avengers.
about that, sincerely, but they're good actors anyway. So, so I'll say I do like Denzel. Yeah.
Denzel. Okay.
Anyway, so now that you are doing, now that you're back fully to your passion, of course, we expect that Mr. and Mrs. Okorafor is going to be wildly successful, and people are going to start talking about it. What's the next thing for you? So right after this project, I'm sure you're thinking about, what else can I be cooking up?
Okay, first off, I intend to start up my own show where I can actually bring women, and then we'll get to talk.
On the couch like this?
Exactly, something like this, yeah. So
I'm going to be a night show or something, it can't be...
Basically, it has to be a night show, sincerely, because so we can get to talk vocal stuff.
On breakfast.
Exactly, yeah. Then I also get to bring the guys and have them share their own views. Then maybe sometimes bring the ladies and the guys to sit down and do a little bit of arguments, and then we can come up with logical conclusions and then something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm looking
around relationships and all of that.
Yes, more like that.
Why did you decide to, you know, why was that something important to you?
Honestly, my marriage failed. Okay. So I learned a lot from my previous marriage. So, and that's why
So you probably don't want people to get into those kind of, or?
I want people to more like look first before you get into marriage. Marriage is not, I want to get married anymore. It's more of getting married to someone who's your friend. So I tell people that it's friendship, it's love, it's trust, and it's first of all communication in relationship. If you don't have these things, no relationship will work.
Is that part of why you're also very down to earth and vocal on your, social media page? You just go straight to the point. You don't beat around the bush.
No, I don't. I just say it the way it is, because I noticed that in Africa we tend to want to shift, put it in a way that people would feel, oh, you're good, you're this. People don't go out and say, if it is A, let's say it's A. If it's B, let's say it's B. Wow. So I'm like, why don't I just do something different? Just say it the way it is. And I realized that's what people like. Everybody wants to hear the truth. And I just decided to give it out the way it is. Yeah.
And how's the response to what you do so far? How's the reaction?
I get tongue lashing sometimes, sincerely,
But I'm sure you have a thick skin for that.
Oh my God, you give it to me, I give it to you back. Exactly, sincerely.
It's called bass boost. Bass.
Exactly.
Once you give it to you, you just respond.
You just respond,
There are times I respond, but there are too many sometimes I can't really like respond. So I just look at them and I ignore. So,
definitely.
But it's really nice, yeah.
Anyway, Patience, you know, I'm sure if you have been around, you saw me busy in the kitchen.
I noticed that, I was really like...
Did you see me giving finishing touches?
I didn't see you there. I didn't see you.
Okay, we have something for you. Let's,
anyway, so we'd like you to have a taste of what
Oh, that would be really nice.
So please join us in the
thank you.
And this here is Mary.
Oh my God,
this
really looks yummy. Okay.
How you doing?
Very well, thank you, Mary.
Okay, so Yummy will be talking about the food with the chef.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this
okay,
is nice.
So this is seafood pasta.
Wow.
And it's a combination of a lot of things. It looks very simple, but you know we mixed up a lot of things for you in there. And the greens you can see in there is called basil. It's the basil leaves, right?
Basil leaves.
And then we have
basil leaves.
Okay, no, you know, it sounded like when she had
basil leaves. And then, you know, so a mixture of a lot of other things to come up with this.
That's actually cheese on it, though. Shaved cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually shave that. So instead of grating it, some people, they will say they don't want cheese. By the time you grate it, so before you get to the gas, then it gets melt because the food is already hot.
Okay.
So, and it gets melt quickly. So as a result of that, it's better you shave it and then you use it as a decoration, as a garnishing. So if the guest says you don't want, you can easily pick it off. So and then go ahead with the business.
You heard this there.
That's Chef Ali for you guys.
Mouth water.
Oh my God, this sure looks yummy.
Yeah. So try it, please, and let us know your verdict.
Okay. Wow. This looks nice. I want to pick this. I don't know what it is. Looks like fish.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, and we didn't put too much seasoning. We tried to
really
tone
nice.
down on seasoning a little bit.
Wow.
And Chef Ali was awesome. Well done, Chef.
Well done, Chef.
Well
Great
done.
one.
Well done.
Great
Well
one.
done.
So much.
Great one, Chef.
Thank you.
And
So nice.
yeah, we're going to start
Well done.
winding things off on the show right now. Thank you to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories on the show.
Yes, and thanks to everyone who has been a part of the show today. You all are awesome, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. So tomorrow is another
We're going to
day.
be back. Well done, Chef.
6 a.m.
Great job today. And thanks, Patience, for joining us on the
Thank
show.
you for joining us.
Why did you leave this? Still have this thing here.
Huh?
You still have this thing here.
Mike, just calm down.
You will see. You will see.
Have a nice day, everybody.
All right, guys. Your view is next after this.